was available in. So this one has skunk stripe, has very nice grained wood as well. One thing I also noticed about the Japanese models is that they I don't know if they tint the lacquer or if they just get a darker wood, but all of the necks from these Japanese models are darker than their American counterparts, unless the American ones have, you know, legitimately been aged. This one has the Schaller type tuners, single string tree, and a bullet. So interestingly enough, Japan was doing a bullet several years before the United States. Who knows why? Super jumbo frets, obviously, and they're relatively consistent and deep. Looks like these ones are a little bit better than some of the other ones. I don't see any like ledges or anything there. Brass nut, obviously. Also HS3s, and same controls. I don't remember which ones have the big pots or which ones have the little pots. The bent saddles. This one I floated a little bit, and big steel bridge block. This one has a single ply. I don't know if that's original or not. This is probably not original, but obviously period correct for the guitar. This is basically supposed to be emulating. The cool thing about the Japanese guitars is that they kind of copied Yngwie's actual guitars versus like just trying to make him a signature model, which was what Fender USA was doing at the time. So this one's obviously pays homage to his early 70s guitars, which very traditionally he's used over the time. And the previous ones, this one was just like Yngwie's 61, although with his 61 he's got it wired to where he can, you know, change it to certain positions, and then it'll give him the bridge and the neck pickup at the same time. And 57, obviously, just like some of his older ones. Next one, let's see. All right. So this one, probably my favorite overall. This one is the ST68 185 YM. So this one was a lot more expensive than the previous models before it. This is very similar to the US made custom shop in its features, maybe not necessarily the quality. I don't have a US custom shop yet, so I can't give you that review. But as far as the features go, features are very, very similar. So you guessed it, same color, vintage white only. They didn't make any other options. The scallops are relatively consistent, nice fret to fret. Got the super jumbos, and you'll notice on the headstock of this one, no bullet. Not only that, but it has a two-piece neck. So this has a glued-on fretboard, just like the guitar it's supposed to be copying, which is Yngwie's 1968 Strat. Now to get that from America, you got to spend $5,500. You might be able to get them for a better price, but you know, if you like the features, then you may just want to pick one of these up. This one still has very nice grain. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but very nice grain in there. The pickups on these are actually HS3, HS4, HS4. So kind of period correct for the counterparts from America that were being made at the time. These ones were made from 1999 to 2010, actually. And this was the first Japanese Yngwie model that has the brass neck anchors like his US models. So this neck is very, very sturdy and doesn't move at all. Now we'll talk about some of the pre-signature models that were basically made like Yngwie's guitars, but before they were official with Fender Japan. This particular one is an ST72 860 DSC. So obviously ST72 means Stratocaster 72. 860 was the price that it was sold for in yen, so 860,000 yen. And DSC means DiMarzio pickups and scalloped. So this one has HS3s in the bridge and in the neck, and it is scalloped, albeit relatively poorly. So this one has the Fender Japan scallops that are not all the way fret to fret, meaning that they have kind of a flat spot and then they go like that, like a U, and then they have a flat spot before the next fret. Some of them are like that, some of them are not. It's not relatively consistent across the board. And this one uses traditional size frets, so not the jumbos like Yngwie likes. The idea behind these was obviously to get Yngwie type guitars into the hands of people that couldn't necessarily afford the signature model, or just kind of the precursor to the signature model. And these were all 3-bolt necks as well. Fortunately, I don't fling my guitar around all the time, so I don't really need the 4-bolt, and I don't really perform, so you know, I'm not really noticing neck shifting. So some of the other models that are like these, which I have, but they're at a different house right now, are the ST72 EX1M, which I still can't really find much on those guitars, or the ST72 V2 EX1M, which are available in different colors, including seafoam green, Olympic white, and black. But you don't really run across them very much, and I can't find any literature on them. But their scallops are like these scallops, and they were also made in the late 80s, early 90s, and they actually have an Yngwie signature on the headstock, which is very strange because that was pre-signature, so to speak. Oh, one more thing I forgot about this one is it uses Goto tuners. Yeah, these were Goto. The earlier ones just said Fender Japan, but they look exactly like the Goto tuners. This one originally had 2 string trees. I took one off because Yngwie always does, so if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. I put the brass nut on this one. These ones actually come with like the plastic nut. Took some work to get it in there because this is made for a 9.5-inch radius, and all of the Fender Japan guitars for the YJMs are a 10-inch radius. This one actually has some pretty nice wood grain for being a lesser model, so to speak. It plays extremely well. This one, oddly enough, even though it has the cast saddles and the die-cast bridge block, this guitar is extremely bright, like much brighter than most of the other Yngwie guitars. So I think the older the HS3, the brighter that it was.